Alright, so recently StockX announced they were going to be offering mystery boxes. And the way it works, at a very high level, is there are different tiers of boxes. The higher the price, the higher the potential reward is, and StockX does guarantee whatever is in that mystery box will be at least the same value as what you pay for it. They even, because they are so generous, they are even going to refund you if you don't like what you get. There's a catch though. They don't refund you in actual dollars where you can get your money back, spend it elsewhere. They will refund you in StockX credit. So on the surface, it might seem like a great deal, but really, you've given StockX some revenue. And this kind of got me thinking because I am in my mid-30s. I'm entering that phase of life where I start to complain about everything in the world and it just is what it is. But it did get me thinking about mystery boxes in sneakers, but not just sneakers, just in general. But because I am a sneaker channel, I'm trying to kind of frame this from a sneakers perspective. Now, just right up front, I'm not exactly like an absolutist against or for mystery boxes. I can see there's something fun to it. I can see in a capitalistic world, what you deem as valuable, that you can afford, that you pay out of your own pocket, you should be able to buy whatever it is, as long as it's legal. I can also see the other side where it's kind of ridiculous for a company to charge you money for an item that you have no idea what it's going to be. So I do see both sides of the argument, and to be very transparent, I've only ever bought 3 mystery boxes in my life, all of them for this channel, just to review, so I kind of did it for the clicks. However, in my personal life, I've never done it, and I've never really thought too much about mystery boxes, but when StockX announced this, it got me thinking a little deeper, because we don't see mystery boxes just in sneakers. It is very, very rampant amongst every industry, especially kind of like hobby industries. So the trading card industry, I would argue half the fun isn't even playing the game. It is getting that booster pack, not knowing what's going to be in there, and just the potential of pulling that rare card is like 50% of why people even get into that hobby in the first place. And what I've been thinking about is, have we just gone too far? It has just pervaded every single part of our life. Of course, you will see people are able to gamble legally now on things like how long does someone sing the national anthem for at a sports game. Now, just everything in life, you're basically able to gamble and bet money on. And mystery boxes is a form of that. And I want to highlight the psychology behind why people even get mystery boxes in the first place. And one instance where mystery boxes are just pervasive is actually in video games. And one specific country actually saw the dangers that this had on children, and they actually banned loot boxes in video games. And if you didn't know, loot boxes basically is in a video game, it is a box where you don't know what's in it, you can pay money and perhaps get some rare items, special items, but a lot of times you just get some junk. And it just kind of functions like mystery boxes in sneakers, but in video games. Now, you may just think that's part of the fun. Where's the harm, really? Now, according to a study by James Sauer of the University of Tasmania, shortly after Belgium banned loot boxes in video games, he found that loot boxes taps into the same psychological principles that draw people to slot machines. Specifically, it exploits a cognitive distortion that makes a gambler view every loss as one step closer to a win. And additionally, the more you gamble in one aspect of life, the more you gamble in every other facet of life. Imagine someone that's like 13, they get their first loot box. They don't really get any rare items. That's a little disappointing, but that potential of getting something better next time draws them to buy it again. Okay, now that happens again and again and again, and it creates a domino effect as they grow older to want to chase the same type of rush in different aspects of life. Now, just to be clear, I think we should all have individual agency. If you want to do something that might even ruin your life, if you want to do something that's harmful, as long as you don't hurt anybody else, yeah, I can see an argument where that person should be allowed to do that. But if we expose these kind of things to people whose brain hasn't even fully functioned, teenagers to kids, where mystery boxes and sneakers are allowed to be purchased by kids if they have the money to do so, is that really a kind of society that we want? I don't know. Now, what makes this even more dangerous is that studies have also shown that the people more likely to kind of delve deep into this cycle are people in lower income groups. So if you imagine walking into a casino and instead of seeing people with net worth like Charles Barkley, who is a notorious gambler, he loves to gamble, he's very open about it, but instead of seeing people like that who probably have the money to lose, you see a lot of people lower income, sitting on that slot machine, just yanking, and waiting for that next break. We can all agree, I think, it's pretty much accepted as kind of a sad sight. Now imagine that same slot machine is in your home. It's in every store you go to. It's on your phone. Now, maybe you might argue if you invest in the stock market as a form of gambling, technically yes, but statistically, just by the numbers, at least in the United States, if you just invest in like the S&P 500 over the course of decades, you will make a pretty good return. And because these things are so widespread, what would it look like if it just kind of became the norm? Like, imagine companies looking at this and going, people are actually pretty open to buying mystery boxes, even without being able to refund or get any of your money back. They just love that dopamine. What if we have all this data and we transform our business model into something where you don't really buy and know, where you don't see what you get, but you sell them on the potential to get what you want? Do we even need to produce like this many Jordan 4s that perhaps might sell out? Why not just produce a very limited quantity and replace whatever is inside with something that costs less? Now, I'm not too sure how much like an Air Force One costs versus a Jordan 4. Probably very similar, I don't know, but whatever Nike sells that costs the least, put it in that mystery box. They know that people are still willing to take that chance of getting that shoe. It's a win for them. It's definitely not something I want, but as we know, a lot of corporations, they look at the numbers, they calculate the ROI. If it makes sense for the corporation, they will do it, even at the harm and the expense of the consumer. And that is literally their responsibility. Every corporation, if they're public, like a lot of sneaker companies are, they have a responsibility for their shareholders. And that is to maximize value. So that's their responsibility. But should we, as consumers, let that trend become more and more of the norm? Now, I'm definitely not sitting here on my moral high horse, kind of judging people that do this. And I'm not trying to single out StockX. That was just kind of the catalyst for getting my brain going, thinking about this is not something that I think is healthy if you just scale it to the magnitude of a lot of different other industries and hobbies. I was invited recently by a few friends of mine to play like Magic the Gathering for the first time. Never ever played in my life, but they gave me a pack and they were like, open it, see what you get. And just that activity alone, just opening that thing, and I had no context about like what's a good card, what's a bad card, none. I had no background going into it. I was like, oh, this is fun. Not the game itself, the game was pretty fun, but just opening that damn thing and not knowing what's in it, but perhaps I'd be some lucky dude who pull like a super rare card or super powerful card, whatever the term is. That was intoxicating. And every time I go to like a comic book store or anywhere that sells like trading card packs, I'm like, oh, well, I think I need that. I think I need that pack. But I always remind myself, I cannot fall into this rabbit hole. And I think the irony of this all, and not to be super corny, but the irony is the greatest mystery in life is actually life itself. You don't know where life may take you. You don't know what tomorrow may bring. You actually, by the nature of just existing, get to experience the best mystery without having to pay for it. So that's it. Thanks for watching. So inclined. Let me know what you think of mystery boxes, blind boxes in general. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.